Hello everybody, welcome to the show. Bass and Bonsai out on the water. That sun's getting ready to come up over them treetops. Old Bill Dance, he's already out fishing, and we are too. So we still have some grass. I don't know if you can make it out yet. I'll try to show you later. Charles is trying top water also. I'm just gonna throw on the frog, maybe all three of our frogs at some point in time, but once that sun starts getting up, it's gonna be chatterbait. Oh yeah. Oh!
That sounded good too.
I got him. I had to wait forever to feel that fish. Stay on. That was an explosion, dude. Stay hooked. He's not huge, but dude, it's a nice chunk, but that thing, like my dig it, occasionally you could hang them up, but man, they just went through the wood. And they ticked off the tops of grass good. And they got pretty small hooks. Oh! Jesus!
What did you hit it top water? Did you
dude, yeah, out? That did not. That was not me making anything up. That was me like scared out of my mind. That sucker.
you said that.
I'm gonna run real quick back to this dude. I'm gonna rig up one other one to try. Oh, he's got a thing in there. Put him back on. So we'll consider him bright. And even though black and blue kind of works, had been working with the bait, Charles kind of got on a flurry of them. I got on a flurry, was all orange or whatever. So I'm gonna go back to this brighter one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, orange and green.
Yeah, it's not working.
So in the shade, that bright color should actually help, I would think. We're gonna try it real quick down this bank. But yeah, I get the feeling like in a period of a whole day of fishing with chatterbaits with a 7-to-1 as compared to 8-to-1, I would wear myself out more cranking faster with that 7-to-1 to try to, you know, stay on tops of the grass or, you know, slow it, speed it up kind of thing. And the 8-to-1, when you do that hard crank, whoa, that fish hit right when I wasn't even ready. But when you do that, you know, real quick, one crank real fast, that 8-to-1 is gonna should give it a more erratic jump than a 7-to-1.
Okay.
If you want to get technical. But there, it's working. You can see that is why chatterbaits work so well in here, is all that grass. Have you tried just a shaky head with an orange worm?
No, I have not.
I thought about doing that too. I hit that fish. If he stays on, it'd be a miracle. That was funny. Got him in, looked at him. All right, this is a point in the video where I tell you guys to recommend this to your friends, because the on the water out here videos, we're fishing, they're getting less views than just when I'm doing the live streams. And Charles is saying he's doing a live stream about knocking out a boat. Anyway, right here at the boat truck. Jesus, that dude. Because I don't get why so many people are watching me talk about baits at home if they're not also watching me, you know, like showing you the proof of what works and why it works and how it works. Like you're just taking some knucklehead in his, you know, garage, basement, telling you stuff. I would think that there would be a more even balance, which, you know, it's not bad, but it's like, come on. So if you're watching this video and you like the channel, recommend the channel. Because I ain't paying for no advertisement. You guys are my yeah, I'm wanting free. I'm tight. I told you guys that, right? Free advertisement. Recommend this to your friends, neighbors, enemies, family. Same difference sometimes. And yeah, everybody.
Ooh, you know what I haven't done?
We haven't 100% fine-tuned the color, but pretty much you throw something with orange on it, and chatterbait wise, it will catch a fish. I caught what, 1 or 2 on the black and blue, but I don't think it's definitely the color of choice. That dude slacked it up. Stay on. That is running around like a green. Is that a? No, that's a bass. Largemouth bass. Right? Doesn't get any better than that. Right, boys? Is that camera angle right? You guys kiss that one. Mwah. Whee! I know. I don't want to hear about it, Karen and Susan. Throwing my fish back in. Oh man, how cruel. Right? The worst thing you can do is when they start flopping around in your boat. That's more harmful.
Wow.
And actually cupping them. Grabbing them, cradling them, you're rubbing the slime coat off, that kind of stuff. Leads them up to infection.
The worst thing you can do is fill them full of lead so that you can try and win a tournament.
Might have a point. Now,
have you seen that?
Yeah,
the walleye guys.
I've heard of people getting caught.
No, there's a one where some guys were in a walleye tournament. Just happened like 2 weeks ago, and they put like 3 pounds of lead in 4 walleye.
Jesus, 20 ounces per fish.
Yeah,
and end up with a pound over, and that a lot of times, a lot of tournaments, that's what it takes, you know. Like the higher up guys just start weighing, you know, letting up their fish to add a pound to their bag, every bag.
Yeah, but the average on the bags were like, for the day, was like 6 to 8 pound bags. And
these guys come in with fish don't look much
oh,
bigger.
30 pounds.
Right.
You know, 30-pound bag, and yeah, the fish weren't much bigger than the rest of them, and they were like, what the heck? And they're all happy, yeah, we smoked this, blah, blah, you know. Then all of a sudden, they're like, wait a second, hold on.
Charles, that bite's starting to come around. That last time we were here, it's like as the day goes on, that orange seems to almost kick in even better and better. All right, so here's what we have here. Like, look at this, Charles. You got this grass, and I think there's a line of it all the way down.
Right.
So, oh, there was a fish looking at that. I think there may still be. Thought I saw something. Maybe not. So, let's see if we can get one through there first. And what I'm going to try to do is catch this fish. I was going to say I'll kill it on this side of the grass. That bite is on, Charles.
That's your crazy.
That's that crazy bright as you can get orange.
Yeah.
You will not get any brighter orange. I promise you. That? I guess you're probably a little dinky male. Or a real little female. So what I'm going to try to do now. So they're up in the shade still, but I'm going to turn you guys where you can see. Down this grass line. Now I can't see it all the way down, but I'm going to kind of guesstimate where I think is the edge. I'm going to try to throw this chatterbait down that edge. And catch a fish. Oh, that bait got a little, no, I can't tell. Is it bigger? No. Oh, do not. I think they are getting a little bigger on that outside edge. That's why you always throw a chatterbait down the outside edge of grass. Right, Charles? Look at that monster. Ooh. It's giant. So, yeah, so what I need to do. Whoa, look out. Charles is hung in that. Oh, it came out. Charles, I thought for sure was hung. That's a nice bass, too.
Yeah.
Charles set the hook, and that little lightweight rod bent and then didn't move. I thought he for sure was hung in that. And I just asked, well, earlier I asked Charles, I go, did you ever try to orange worm yet? He's like, no, I don't think I have. Paid off.
Yep, sure did.
All right, let's go. Oh my God, I'm a moron. I hit the bank for sure. It landed like 2 foot over grass.
Yeah.
That's pretty long. That's pretty far. How far would you say it is to that thing?
60 yards.
I got a fish too, out in the middle. I was wondering if that bite was big on it. Yeah, that was a long cast with the chatterbait. 3/8 pounds too with a Z-Man bait on the end. That sucker flew. And that's with our little caught a fish. But what was funniest about that cast, that's the Acura deep spool 15-pound test, and I'd like no problem hitting that other side of the bank. So we're just kind of got a little breeze going out here in the middle. I'm gonna try to, I want to stay over yeah, on that side. I can see there. Okay, there is grass out in the middle. Look at that, Charles. See it? What's right there is right here. So we got like an open channel out here more now. But there's still grass out here. So, and my shoulder is sore. Not from catching fish. Charles has one behind us. My shoulder is sore from playing football catch with Noah. We're throwing football back and forth. Charles got a lot of grass. Charles resorted to that finesse soft plastic worm, and he's tearing them up right at the moment. Nice chunk. Chatterbait fishing in the grass. Bunch of grass. If you're afraid to get your baits in the grass, get your, yeah, because you got to get in there, up in there. Oh yeah, Charles, I was going to tell you. Charles always talks about his grandpa. And what does he say about if you're going to fish, if you're going to
fish where the fish are, you're gonna lose lures.
Right. Now I heard the exact same thing, and you guys heard me talk about Matt Allen on Tactical Bassing, but the other dynamic duo, right? There's Matt Allen and Tim Little. Tim Little had a video I watched, and he said almost that exact same thing, because he was talking about, you know, the day he fished and the fact that he lost this or that. He's like, you're gonna lose baits if you're, you know, you're throwing where the fish are. You're gonna lose baits. You gotta get it in there where the fish are. And so I was like, that is the exact same thing Charles always says.
Yep.
Which is true, and I've said it before. Like you gotta not be afraid to put it where other fishermen are gonna be hitting the banks or hitting spots, and they're not gonna put it there. They're just either afraid of losing that, you know, $45 bait, you know, just not having to hassle with putting their boat in some of these spots. So that's also a boat. Matt says the same thing, you know. He bought a Skeeter from the guy that's like, it's a tool. So if you ever look at Matt's Skeeter, it's got some scratches and some, you know, it's got some wear. And Matt's, I put a few on his Yamaha motor by bouncing chatterbaits off of it, but you got to also not be afraid to put your boat, you know, like we'll get in this grass and got to dig it out. I don't really bang this thing off anything, it wouldn't matter, it's plastic. But back when I had my boat, you know, you're worried about, you know, buying an $80,000 boat and putting scratches on it, you're in the wrong thing of like being a bass fisherman, because you need to not be afraid to get in there. Now, like me, kind of conserve and know how to do, or, you know, throw the cheaper baits, like I buy them dollar little jig things from Rogers, so if I do lose them, but then you also got to spend the money and just, you know, take the lumps. Just, I'll use the Jabberjaw for an example, but I'm going to get a lure retriever. I throw that thing where I think it's going to get hit, and it does get hit, but I've lost several now. But throw them where the fish are, get a lure retriever, and don't be afraid to get in there with your boat, and whether it's through this gunky stuff or whatever, get in there and fish. Right, Charles?
Yes, most definitely.
Let me get a good cast here. Okay, that should put me kind of on the edge of this grass. I'm going to try to go slower.
I can't.
I got fish.
I can't
Okay, I got on the outside edge, slow down a little bit. Whoa, I'm about ready to fall down. I got this fish, but I can't, we're stuck in the grass. You have to hang on, Charles. I don't know what you want me to move, but
You're
we're
fine.
caught. I gotta get this fishing done.
You do what you need.
And I'll show you guys the knot in a minute. Look at that grass, just unwind. I got more grass than I got fish. Now, I can't honestly say I'd like to fish in places like this every day. Because some days you like to just get out and throw a crank or something and you're not digging off it. This is fun.
Oh, yeah. Nope. Nope.
So, I'll be back. I got to dig this trolling motor out. What's that? You want to see what I'm talking about? Okay, watch this real quick. I'm going to lift this thing up. I got mine pinned because my trolling motor broke. They don't make these anymore, but look at that. Can you guys see that grass? You need to move your rod so you don't break them. Jesus. Look at the lettuce. But you can't be afraid. So what I got to do now is hold the trolling motor up and go, whoa! Let's go, whoa! Let's go. Hang on, Charles, I don't know where you're at, but I'm getting us out of this gunk.
Yep, we definitely need out of this gunk.
Still got grass. Now, cleaned it. Okay, whew. Now put the pin back in. The little clicker thing broke a year or so ago. Can't
stay out of the
anymore.
grass.
I haven't seen where you could buy the parts to fix it. So, one of my stops, I got a pin. Whew, it's starting to get warm now, Charles.
Yep.
Heating up. See if that bite's heating up. I'm gonna keep throwing this guy. I do like this setup. That's the Zillion. I'm gonna give you a little spoiler alert. If you're watching this video, I'm gonna be doing a live stream at some point towards the end of the year. What are my top, probably top 5, but the #1 reel rod, BFS reel rod that I've used or been around or whatever this year. I'm still on high. Ain't nothing comes close to this Zillion right here. Charles, I don't think's ever even. I think he's held. I don't think he's ever really cast and fished it much.
No.
Those Zillions, he don't want to buy one because they're right now. The way the exchange rate is, they're like $229. I'm almost ready to buy another one. It's like I like the idea of trying different reels just to try them, and for the channel it would make sense. But I'm telling you, ain't none of them compared to this dude right here.
All this thing's doing is catching grass.
It palms big, but it palms. I say big, but big for smaller reels. It's a small reel that palms solid.
We're going right back into that grass.
Good. And
You didn't want to be
flat out works. It helps with that boost spool, which you can get for some of your older stuff. So anyway, the Zillion for the reel.
But not for the Alpha. Can't get a boost spool for the Alpha, right?
As of right now, no, I don't think you can. Now, as far as BFS reel, Dark Wolf Ultra, I think hands down for the money.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they sent me a thing for $55. I could have bought one.
Yeah.
Did you get that deal?
Yeah.
I just no. I got 2 sitting at the house. I haven't even spooled up and used yet. So, having said that, since I have a limited time and it's already getting warm, we're going to take the pump cover off and get serious, Charles. I'm going to catch all we need now. We've caught plenty of fish. We need a big one. We need a big. We still got an hour and 15 minutes, but we're starting to look for a showstopper right now. So what would you throw if you were looking for a big bass in the grass? Probably the frog I started with this morning. And just throw it until hopefully something hit it.
I got grass on that one.
We're not going to do that. Nope. We're gonna go black and blue. No. Keep throwing this orange, probably. I did want to try. Let me just read it
the
up.
wind
Just 'cause
just
I bought
died.
it and I ain't tried it yet. Yeah, I know.
That sucks.
We had wind, and then we don't have wind. You let me know when you're done with that top water area. Right
Oh, let's go. Do what you want to do. I don't care. I'm
Should we
back to the
try
boat
pink?
just riding along.
No ink.
I already did bubble gum it.
What I'm going to do now, I'm going to put you guys back on the chesty. I may even move that thing just so I don't have to worry about setting a hook on it. But we've rigged up our hot snakes in the goat on one of my other favorite colors, probably my favorite color one other than black and blue, but then that orange one's close. So I'm going to try it here, even though the orange does work. That insane orange color, I'm going to switch these two out because I think these are a good 1-2 punch. Try one and the other, and sometimes they both just work because they're kind of a natural but intense color. And I'll be honest, I just want to try it. I just want to see. It's been a while since I've Jesus, what's going on here, Charles? That bait, there we go. If you guys remember right, I lost my purple one because I didn't check the snap that I use. So I'm going to try to show you. I'll put you on the chesty, but we got good clear water, sun anyway, clearer water. So I'm trying to show you how it helps it swimming it up. But then I'm also going to show you, because it jumps around a little bit, you can feel, even with slimming it up, you can feel some resistance. So I think, and I've talked about it, if you guys watch most of you do, watch the at-home deals. I trimmed that part up also, because I don't think it needs to be that much. And I already did it on that other one. Independence PD, anyway.
Murphy's Mule Barn, which asked, would you like to speak to?
Okay, so watch this. I don't know if you guys can see that. It just jumps. Even that little bit lets this bait jump a little bit more. So, me and Murphy, I'm going to try to catch largemouth bass on this bait. But if not, I'm going to switch back to the other one, and I may even go to a Zinkers on the tail. We got an hour to catch a showstopper, Charles.
An hour to catch a showstopper.
Technically not quite an hour, but about, yeah. Because, yeah, we got an hour. An hour to catch a 5-pounder, which I'm going to call a showstopper if we can get on a big fish. Or just a good one. We haven't, I mean, these have all...
They've been nice, pound and a half.
Yeah, but that's it. Like, there's no big...
Yeah, right now, 3-4 pounders.
Right. They're all like the same, close to the same size. Good, good fun catching fish, but there's... I felt like
the thing is, we have caught better fish out of here.
Yeah, we caught better fish. And so, I don't know. I don't know what is up. They should be definitely feeding up. See, there's some grass straight out there. Really? What?
Is that a chainsaw or a dirt bite?
Jackal.
Jackal.
Yeah, they use a chainsaw and power stuff in their music. You never heard of Jackal?
Yeah, I know who Jackal is. Yeah, it's called the Chainsaw Song.
Right. That's what I thought it was. I didn't know they were on tour around here. What? How hard? Oh, what? Something just moved. That's something big. Did you see them bubbles?
Uh-huh.
That was a big turtle, grass carp, or a huge bass. Yep, Jackal's in town, boys.
I don't care for them.
You don't like Jackal?
No.
Charles. I don't like have them on my playlist or nothing, but they got a few good songs.
Not much of a Johnny Dare fan, and he's their big
Which
buddy.
I don't remember a few good songs. I always get into a little pattern. I'll listen to the same 8-10 songs for like a month.
Right.
But Jelly Roll, you know who that is?
Let me see that Jelly Roll.
No.
Oh.
But anyway, he's got a couple songs. Son of something and whatever, and Dead Man Walking. Oh boy. Speaking of Dead Man Walking, we're dead walking through this grass. I'm going to have to slow down, pay attention, and buzz us through this. Look at all this. This is definitely fish material. There's like a bear behind us. You hear that roll?
It's a 4-stroke ATV.
Is it Yamaha or Kawasaki?
I have no idea.
Come on, Charles. You're better than that.
They don't seem to want this one. Thought maybe this one would do good.
This is where I was throwing earlier. That's why I caught.
Yeah,
that
but look at. Wouldn't you think that they would want that?
Yeah, but maybe too
yellow.
Too yellowish, brightish, colorish.
Yeah, might be.
Brownish. Two-ish, Charles. Oh, finally! Before I even put you guys on the chesty, that is not a showstopper. Sorry. I know some of you are like, dude, just end this show already. But sorry, nope. Just like my live streams, you're in a never-ending story, brother. Whee! Game on. Caught a fish on it, Charles. Waiting for that. I think these two colors will only work better as the water stains up, gets dirty. And I think I want to go ahead and rig one of each with a, or like a dark sky with a gold blade, because I think that would be awesome with the gold blade and the orange one. So I'm probably gonna, I may even have to order another. Did you see me try to shake that fish off? I hope that came through. I shook it this way and shook it that way, trying to shake it off grass, Charles, and it was a fish the whole time. That's why I have to say, even though I've had better luck today with that purple rod for chatterbaits, for these little dudes right here, that carbon light, 6'9", probably 7 foot in medium heavy, is hard to beat. There's one. Showstopper, Charles. Oh, he's not. I was hoping you were so bigger. Come on. Well, there it is. My favorite rod, favorite chatterbait trailer, favorite chatterbait rod. At the moment, Aliexpress chatterbaits are my favorite because they're so cheap and they just flat out work. We got the jabberjaw. We got the slobber knocker knockoffs. Say that 3 times fast. Slobber knocker knockoffs, slobber knocker knockoffs, slobber knocker knockoffs. Anyway, we got those coming.
Good thing about this tip too.
We'll try them. Oh, there's another one, Charles.
Set some good action on the bait. Work the bait really well too.
Let's see if we can. See if he'll jump and stay pinned. And I could pull him right up. And jump. No. I don't wore him out. That is a fat one. Well, boys and girls, hopefully you enjoyed the show. Every one of them is that or just a hair bigger. Like there's no giants today, but man, these were fun to catch. Just putting some work in with the old chatterbait rods. And that's why this is my favorite place to fish, just because it's like chatterbaits all day. It may slow down, but every time we've come here out on the boat, you can chatterbait it pretty much the whole time, right? And I will officially say that the goats, cut down anyway, I've cut the body and even the little flappers. That is my favorite trailer by far, even over the zinkers, for one real simple fact. I can leave those on longer. Them zinkers, if you've left any on or whatever, and see how quick they rust out. Oh,
yeah, it's all the salt.
That salt just tears them up quick.
Broke off.
Right, and that's what I didn't pay attention, and if you forget, like these, I left that one on intentionally. So far, it doesn't even hurt anything. Like that paint that these Aliexpress ones anyway, that they use, doesn't interfere, so you just basically, it just sets on there. I can probably leave them, but I think it's better to put them back in the blister pack, so they'll keep their shape. But still, if I leave one, forget one, or just get lazy, or if I go out and I want to rig them Friday night and then leave them the whole weekend on the chatterbait I put them on, I can. Which makes it, that's why I like them better than the zinkers. The zinkers I still like and will probably still use, but I got my own little Ziploc baggie with just my zinker. That bait is on. That same brightest orange one. It just has, it's definitely what's worked today the best.
Yeah, they're not liking this red orange anymore.
I've changed, I found stuff that will work, but that color, and let's see if we got a jumper. As we get out of here, whoa! That dude is gonna jump, Charles. Oh no, he shook, oh, he hit the boat. That dude was insane. That dude was on something. You know what he was on? Orange crawdad. He is addicted to it. Also, I wanted to comment, Charles remembers, he was with me the day that you remember when I first bought this combo and I had the reel also, the carbon light. Charles, remember how it started getting that sound?
Yeah.
Now I want you guys to hear this one. I've caught several fish today. I fished this reel yesterday on this rod, so I've basically with 15-pound test. It does not have a geary sound. So far these Acuras are holding up to a little heavier fishing. And there's another one. So it's caught a bunch of fish. So you've had the pull, cast and retrieved several times chatterbaits. I'd say just about as many as I did with that Bass Pro Shops carbon light reel. And this reel I've used on what other reel? I had it on something else, so it's not brand new, so I've been using it. So with 10-pound I think I had on it, but the wear, like, I don't know, you might hear, it feels real smooth. That clicking noise you're hearing is because I got a washer wrong on that, but it feels like, look how it just casts. I cast it across the pond earlier, literally. It's technically a strip pit, but pond, strip pit, real small lake.
It's a borrow pit.
Borrow pit. I don't even know what that means, but
it means it's where you go and
I could Google
get
it.
dirt for
Right.
somewhere else. They call it a borrow pit.
Right, it wasn't mined out for, it was mined for dirt, not anything else.
To build the
Oh, we're stuck. We're stuck in grass. I'm gonna try to get us through. But so, and I'll probably do a live stream talking about the Acuras. The only issue I have, like, because when I do my testing, Charles hasn't seen this at home, I'll hook it to something and I set that drag. I feel that you could, if you go too crazy in line, what can happen is you're going to break that plastic foot off out of the reel seat. Because when you start pulling, I mean, I'm pulling pretty good with 15. Like, I wouldn't want to go for sure to 20 and try to set that drag to, you know, just slip before the 20-pound break. Any of your plastic reels, that same thing really with like a Black Max or any of those. I feel if you go too heavy, and if you're the type that you want to be able to crank down a drag, say with 65-pound braid, that kind of thing, you do not want these, any plastic reel. But for, you know, setting a drag, and I don't know if I probably can't show you here. I don't have a far enough way. I'm afraid I'd break the tip of my rod, but I've got this drag cranked pretty good. So, you know, under any normal conditions, I think you're going to be fine with these reels, but I just giving everybody a heads up. That's the only thing I felt when I was setting that drag. I felt like I could feel the reel wanting to almost lift a little, which you'll have that happen if you don't have on any, even a metal ones, if you don't have the reel tightened onto the reel seat right, you'll feel that thing will shift on you when you start really putting pressure on, you know, 15 pounds setting a drag. Now a lot of guys, I see them, they just crank this and they just pull the line and they crank it. And I'm like, how can you tell that you're setting a drag? Maybe if you've done it long enough, but I feel like get the feel if you were out on the water, just like that one fish hit me. You know, it scared the crap out of me. I set the hook and yanked. If that would have been a 10-pounder, my drag would have went.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't have just yanked it out of his mouth. The drag would have took off, and I stand a better, it may not have caught him, but I stand a better chance by having the drag set, you know, to that, you know, that was a perfect example of that one that hit. If I'd have had, you know, unless I probably would have yanked it right out of his mouth. Like if you're fishing with, say, whatever crazy braid, you know, 50-pound or higher braid, drag cranked as tight as you can get it, and something hits you like that close, it's probably going to just rip it right out of their mouth on a big fish, you know. I'm envisioning a monster hitting right at the boat when I set my drags. So I want that sucker to, you know, I want to be able to, you know, have it help me get that fish, not like where I got to baby it or anything.
I think a lot of guys set their drags too heavy.
I think everybody does. First thing I see when they, oh, it's a nice one. Then they start doing this. Well, dude, what are you doing that for? It means your drag's too tight. If you're trying to pull line it. Now, mainly, a lot of guys do it with spinning reels because spinning reels are kind of weird, but.
Yeah, they tend to be all or nothing. A lot of spinning reels,
they're weird.
They're touchy. And I don't like a lot of spinning reels because they'll move as you use them.
Right, and what they are, they're also sticky. Some reels, and I watch guys do that. Like some reels, if you're drag, especially if you're trying to run a drag too tight, your drag hasn't even slipped in a while until you finally do catch something big, and then you'll see them get up there and start pulling it just so they can tell that the drag's not stuck. Right. Which you guys know me, I'm like, I test it out on stumps and everything else, so my drags get moved.
Usually you say, ooh, that drag's not tight enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that fish in. Okay,
Right.
I
It's
guess
like,
it
man,
is.
fish made it in, so. Now, I did tighten this one up this morning because I could feel it on little dinks. I could tell. I was like, go a little tighter. I tightened it again, then it started clicking.
Oh,
That's a green sunfish, I guarantee you. I've had 2 hits right there. Not really quite hard enough to set the hook to, but. Well, we may have to call her now, Charles.
do what?
Call her now. 3.
Yeah.
Bite slow. It's already 11:38.
Yeah.
Not really enough time to wholly regroup and, you know, keep going down this bank, but I was hoping for a big showstopper. We didn't even have a big, like, oh, that was big and miss it, or just nothing big was hitting today. Nothing was hitting big yesterday. I got on that little, about the size we were catching out of here, I got on that little flurry. Same thing last week at the same place. Oh, didn't mean to do that. The Odessa Reservoir. I got on chatterbait fish, but nothing big. It's been a couple weeks since the big ones, I feel, were hitting good anyway. I can see the grass right there. All right, last cast, and let's make this a show stopper, whether it's a fish or not. I am going to help get you guys back there for the final push to the end. We're using my favorite chatterbait everything except for reel. My favorite reel is by far the Zillion, but I'm liking this reel pretty good. I still got the troll motor on high just because I got tired of monkeying, getting caught in grass and have to turn it up back and forth. And I got a little bit of grass right there. Sometimes that's all it is. Now I've caught a couple fish this year with crazy amounts of grass on, but normally one little blade of grass and it just will make them not hit that. Any bait really. Even though I feel like chatterbait still is doing exactly what it, you know, because sometimes you can't even feel a little blade. It's still working, chattering, but.
Yeah, but I think they see it and they're like,
and they're like, dude.
No, nothing live would actually have a piece of grass hanging on it. But yes, I have caught them with it though in the past.
There. Right there, showstopper. Get up into that shade. That fish, he wanted it, Charles.
Yeah.
And that's going to end it, boys and girls. Showstopper. I'd like to catch a bigger one, but every one of them we've caught almost is that size or smaller, roughly. So as we get out of here, whee!
Can't believe the worm isn't even doing anything.
Get out, go bass bonsai, but whatever you do, make sure you have fun doing it. We gone. Chatterbait for the win. I'm not sure who started.
They do Bronco videos.
Oh, right there, at the boat. At the
four-wheeling.
boat. Oh, it came off. He killed it, and I never caught up with him. Maybe a green. We're gonna leave him biting, Charles.